reveal the secrets of your body. You feel perfect when you want me now. I don't wanna leave you now. Yeah. Morning, we saw the night turn into morning. Guess I gotta go right now. 10 more minutes turn into an hour. Yeah. Wish I could stop the hands of time and lay right here for life. Tell the truth, they can love you like I do, and we both know that. So wait until I'm back. Yeah. Overtime, I've been working overtime, and when I'm done with that, yeah, I'ma be right back, yeah. Moment, I don't wanna waste this moment. Lose myself when I'm inside of you. I might wife you, I might make the move. Oh, while we're laying here, tied up in the sheets, look me in my eyes, say it's everything you need. Girl, it's true. Weekend rendezvous on the beach in Malibu. Wish I could stop the hands of time and lay right here for life. Tell the truth, they can love you like I do, and we both know that. So wait until I'm back. Yeah. Overtime, I've been working overtime, and when I'm done with that, yeah, I'ma be right back, yeah. Tell the truth, they can be like I do. We both know that. So I'ma be right back. Yeah. Laying next to you, I got a flight in the morning. Got me questioning what I think is important. I can't even lie, think of you when I'm with her. Look me in my eye, tell me that you feel different. Drove 2 hours just to stay the night with you. Haven't seen you in a year, but I still get you. Hurts to see you laugh, cause I know I miss that. How could I forget that? You made me feel alive. Forget the mother, I would put them to the side. Girls in LA couldn't be more dry. You're so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round these lessons. See those in your dorm, we're dancing. It's a 3:15, saying everything we mean. Girl, it's hard to see me go so fast, yeah, I get that. Times that we have so wild, can't forget that. Now I'm on a flight in my fears, thinking about you. Hope you know you far anyone who doubts you. Life out in Cali has been great, I'm committed. You the only thing that makes me wish things were different. I might fly you out, get you on a one-way if I had it my way. Girl, you be by my side. Forget the mother, I would put them to the side. Girls in LA couldn't be more dry. You're so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round these lessons. See those in your dorm, we're dancing. It's a 3:15, saying everything we mean. Maybe I'm stuck in the past, girl, not willing to let it all go. You can't ignore the fact, baby, you made me feel alive. The mother, I will put them to the side. So real, baby, look me in my eyes. There's so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round these lessons. Tito's in your dorm, we're dancing. It's 2, 3, 4.
Hands in your body, I'm grabbing your ass, enjoying the moment cause life moved too fast. I'm looking forward, ignoring the past. These are the times that we'll laugh looking back. I'm getting lucky like coins in a well. Goodbye to my haters, I'm wishing you well. This is my aim, and if you couldn't tell, this is our life and we living it well. Late nights in the city causing hell. Burn this bitch into the ground, oh well. For all we got tonight, let's do this right. Let's do this right. Let's go to paradise. This shit be like Friday nights. This shit made me feel alive. I feel like we in paradise. Paradise. Don't know if it's a drink I pour, but I swear I've never loved you more. Make you right here, I come alive. One more hit and we can fly. That shit feel like I'm feeling it. My head's where the ceiling is. This energy turns nights into memory. Count up the bands he been working all summer. Ex didn't know what he had, what a bummer. Insecure people turn to insecure lovers. But my drink is almost out and I'm about to pour another. Just let it out. The night has just begun, we on a level now. If I get too fucked up, promise you'll hold me down. Yeah, this that shit you can't deny. This that shit you feel inside. It's our life, our time, we living well. Late nights in the city causing hell. Burn this bitch into the ground, oh well. For all we got tonight, let's do this right. Let's do this right. Let's go to paradise. This shit be like Friday nights. This shit made me feel alive. I feel like we in paradise. Paradise. Don't know if it's a drink I pour, but I swear I've never loved you more. Make you right here, I come alive. One more hit and we can fly. That shit feel like too young to see tomorrow, too young to know it hurts. Found love in empty bottles, I guess we'll never learn. So just lay with me, late till the morning. Cause I'm high and you high, and together we soaring. And if I go too hard, pray the Lord my soul to take. I've been up all night, till tomorrow it could wait. I think we went too far, the ones they couldn't say. Inside of you I found faith. I apologize if I say anything I do mean. Cause I've been drinking too much, faded off the gasoline. I'm just trying to live life, put on for my family. That's on everything. God, we could do anything. Cause baby, we are too young to see tomorrow, too young to know it hurts. Found love in empty bottles, I guess we'll never learn. So just lay with me, late till the morning. Cause I'm high and you high, and together we soaring. And if I go too hard, pray the Lord my soul to take. You're here, I'm here, tell me this isn't fake. You should know you could go anywhere I'm still on your Netflix. Girl, I know you love me, even though your parents, they don't trust me. They probably alright though. I know I'm an no reply to all your texts. Girl, I do you mad cold, like you're just dying to try, but you can't find the keys now. Looking for God, put you down on your knees. I'm all that you want, but not what you need. Girl, why? Tell me, why do you still love me? Why do you love me? You know you shouldn't love me. Yeah, you still love me. All your friends tell you they hate me. Got up shady. Couple weeks ago they were inside my sheets naked. Club so you can Snapchat to snap that. I know that you do that shit, just hoping for a snapback. Like you're just dying to try, but you can't find the keys now. Looking for God, but you're down on your knees. I'm all that you want, but not what you need. Girl, why? Tell me, why do you still love me? Why do you love me? You know you shouldn't love me. Yeah, you still love me. Why do you need me when you know you don't need me? It's tearing you apart. I leave you broken and shaking, you still call me baby. Tell me, why do you still love? Laying next to you, I got a flight in the morning. Got me questioning what I think is important. I can't even lie, think of you when I'm with her. Look me in my eye, tell me that you feel different. Drove 2 hours just to stay the night with you. Haven't seen you in a year, but I still get you. Hurts to see you leave, I'm stuck in the past, girl. Not willing to let it all go. You can't ignore the fact, baby, you made me feel alive. The mother I would put them to the side. So real, baby, look me in my eyes. There's so money, baby, you ain't even have to try. Now I'm running with you round these lessons. Tito's in your dorm, we're dancing. It's a quarter after 3, saying everything we mean. For a moment I was feeling like I had you. Didn't wanna leave, I had to. It's a quarter after 3, saying everything we mean.
Boom! Happy Friday, everyone! To all my Shadow Academy students, members, absolutely love you. I gotta call out some of you. Some just are amazing. As soon as we opened up membership for Shadow Academy, you logged in and just started signing up. I just want to give some shout outs and thanks to those of you who did. We have several new members with us that have joined. The first one to actually join looks like it was Sven Locke. Then Funky Monk, thank you, Funky. Oscar G, rocking it out with membership. Joaquin Ramirez, Matthew Mokin, Christopher Coffey, Jose Herrero, Ross Merritt. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I greatly appreciate the support, and wow, my mouse pad just died. My trackpad just died. Give me a second. Oh my god. Gotta love live streams. Give me 1 second. There we go. Gotta love live streams. So thank you so much for signing up, everyone. I appreciate it. All right, cool, awesome. Oh man, my collar's like all screwed up. What is going on? All right, cool. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Gotta love live streams. So my battery on my trackpad died like right now, like just now. That was amazeballs. Thank you very much for joining us. I know a lot of you are outside the United States. Thank you so much for joining. I know it's late where you are for a lot of you, so thanks again. Yeah, definitely, Jose. Check out Chill Step. Any of you who are into, like, I can't, like, I totally get to hacking to techno. Like, that was a thing for me for a very long time. But I think as I've gotten old, like I'm 43 now, I can't take too much hard music for too long. So chill step basically is a combination of dubstep and chill out music. So it's super it's just awesome because it has a lot of the synthetic voices in it, synthesized voices. It's just awesome to hack to. So if any of you are like analyzing packets late at night or you're doing a pen test late at night, rock out some chill step. It's great music. There's some great live stream channels on YouTube where you can stream chill step music. But check it out. Definitely meditation. That's important. Everyone put your health first. We all too often in cybersecurity, I know a lot of you are new to cybersecurity here, so this is even more important for all of you to hear. In cybersecurity, the stress levels are so high. You need to take care of yourselves. Get up and go for a walk. I know it's really tough when you're sitting there trying to get an exploit to work, or you remember stumbling on some API tokens or keys in the app and you can't find them now. I've been there. Get up, take a walk. It's so important. We're too sedentary in this job, and it's so important for you to just get up and walk around, meditate for at least 30 minutes a day if you can. But I care about all of your health. And, we're the adversaries out there want us to be tired. They want us to be, not taking our personal health seriously. So please do take care of yourself. It's really good to see all of you. I've missed you. Looks like we've got some new folks here. Luke Nilsson, Francisco, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the shout outs on the book. If you haven't checked it out, everyone, you can go grab a copy of my book, Hacking Connected Cars, on Amazon. I will be at Hacker Summer Camp in August at DEFCON and Black Hat signing books. So if you want to pick up if you want to, if you want to pick up a copy, bring it with you and I'll sign it at DEFCON or Black Hat. I'll be there signing books. Jose, thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, wasn't that great? The pizza box and everything on the set of was it Ransom or was it Catastrophe? I think it was Catastrophe Inc. We had like the hacker layer there were pizza boxes and soda cans all over the place. It was awesome. Just a reminder for those of you who are going to Blackout August 8th at 8 p.m. There are some free tickets left for the premiere of our new film Ransom. It will be premiering at the AMC Town Square on August 8th at 8 p.m. We're going to have a cocktail party. The actors are flying in to sign movie posters, and I will be there, of course, along with several other VIPs. So we're going to have a Hollywood-style red carpet premiere event where you can get pictures taken, get some amazing swag. And then one other final update, we launched the membership and we launched the merchandise store. So if you go to I'm waiting on YouTube. I guess they have to review and approve the merchandise before they tie it to the channel. But if you go to Knight-Group, there you go on the ticker symbol, myspreadshop.com, you can access our merchandise store. Pick yourself up a hoodie. I think we're doing like 15% off right now for the next 6 weeks or 4 weeks. You can get 15% off. Grab yourself a hat, a beanie. Thank you very much for all of the applause on the new logo for Shadow Academy. We're excited about it. I love the new logo. I got to give a lot of credit to my wife, Mel, who, by the way, everyone say hi to Mel. She's joining us as our new producer today. Sorry, Jose. Sorry about the audio issues. I don't know what's going on. Everyone, let me know if my audio is all jacked up, but hopefully it's not. But yeah, so check out the merchandise store, pick yourself up something. We are offering discounts currently. Um, I don't know what's going on. Everyone, is my audio okay? Let me check my audio settings 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good here. Okay. Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. Cool. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe for some folks, it's acting up. If um. Okay. So if I don't know where you guys are watching from. Hopefully you're watching from YouTube. That's weird. What's wrong with it? 1 second. All right. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right. What about now? Is that better? Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. All right. So yeah. So that's what's been going on. So I guess are all of you ready to get started? Like this is. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. How exciting was that last episode? Getting Mob SF fully compiled, running and working, getting through those issues together. Some folks on LinkedIn were saying that I was crazy for live streaming something like this because you do run into so many issues like that. But I love that and us being able to all celebrate together because we got it figured out, got it compiled, got it working on the new Apple Silicon, and just from sunny Florida. Oh, hey, Florida! Shout out to Florida. Brian, good to see you. Eugene, thank you. Good to see you, Daniel. Yeah. So for those of you who are watching from LinkedIn, go to YouTube. It's YouTube. I don't know, Mel, if you can put the URL. It's youtube.com/c/listenite/live, and it's probably better on YouTube. Um, so just something to remember. Yeah, definitely watch from YouTube if you can. I think YouTube actually streams at 1080p, so it should be a lot better there. Okay, so yeah, so that I mean, getting through those issues and getting it working, all being able to celebrate together. That's the point of Shadow Academy. If you haven't yet, please sign up as for your membership. This is the last episode that's free. I want to say that again. The first 3 episodes, this is episode number 3, are free. Starting next week, actually we're out next week because I'm going to be in Hollywood at Red Training, but the week after, so there's no training next week. The week after, that is going to be the official start date of the new member only videos. So for those of you who are watching Shadow Academy, go to my YouTube channel, sign up as a member, and you'll be able to access the Shadow Academies moving forward. I've tried to keep the entry level membership cheap. You'll spend more on coffee per month than what you would pay. It's only $4.99 a month, $4.99 a month. So hopefully it's affordable for all of you. So thank you very much for your support. Yep, great job, Mel. Thanks for taking care of production today. So Mel is handling so basically Restream has added a Teams feature, so now Mel can be logged in and handling comments and basically producing. So good to have you, Mel. I love you. Thanks for being here today. All right, everyone, are you ready to hack? Let's do this. All right, so I figured let's hack some banks today. Yeah, that's why a lot of you stayed up so late, right? To hack some banks. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the window for Mob SF. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna create 2 tabs in Mob SF. One is going to be the static analysis tab of the Android app that I uploaded into Mob SF, and then I'm going to open a new tab and drag and drop a new APK file so all of you can see what I did. I don't want any of you to feel like I'm skipping a step when we're offline. The point of Shadow Academy is to do everything together. All right. So I wanted to upload an app because MobSF does take some time to actually reverse the APK file back to the source code so we can go through it and find all those lovely, Easter eggs of hard-coded API keys and tokens, API secrets. I've even found, are all of you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? Hard-coded usernames and passwords in some of these bank apps. Yeah. So, um, but it takes MobSF some time to reverse that back to the source code. I wanted, so all of you didn't have to wait 10, 15 minutes for that to finish. I uploaded a digital bank mobile app called Albert, which is basically, now I need to say this because I don't want to put myself in any kind of legal liability here. um, there's no way, because we're live streaming, there's no way for me to mask out the name of the banks. I can't blur it out. I can't do it. So you're going to see the name of the banks. Um, by doing that, I'm not endorsing any of you to go after these banks with what we find. I'm not giving them as a target. This is simply just of the APK files from previous vulnerability research I've done. These are the apps that I use. It's purely coincidental if we find anything, and it's purely coincidental if you see the name of the bank. I'm not endorsing any illegal activity. We're using it so I can teach you. All right. So, okay. So with that out of the way, I'm going to duplicate my tab. So I want to go over quickly what we did last time. Oh, I apologize. I need to share my screen, don't I? I apologize about that. Okay. Share my screen. Mel, let me know if there's any problems when I do this. But oh, that definitely happened. Okay. So, um, so all of you should be able to see my screen now. Let me close this. So, okay, I have to admit I'm in a 12-step program for people that have thousands of Chrome tabs open. That's totally me. Sorry about that, everyone. Just want to be careful, like what I close. All right. Let me do this. Let me just open a new window. Sorry if I'm coughing into the microphone. Okay. Hey Mel, can you see my screen okay? Is everything okay? Okay. All right, everyone. So let's go over what we did so far. We did a git clone of MobSF onto this M1 Ultra Mac Studio. We installed developer tools and Xcode, both Apple stuff. We installed Brew. Which is basically Mac OS X package manager. I see we've got some new folks today, so I just want to catch all of you up. I am going to be publishing these notes so all of you can get through some of the hiccups we got through together. We installed MacPorts. Um, we did learn that it doesn't automatically update the path without doing anything, so we had to close our terminal window, open a new one, or you could probably just source the bash RC file or whatever. Sudo port install, we did a port install of Py39 Decorator for Python 3.9. We did confirm that it does work on the new Python 3.9 now, so there shouldn't be any issues. And then we used the Homebrew package manager to install something called Six. And then we installed WK-HTML to PDF. We installed PyENV, and then we installed CMake. We discovered with a lot of the issues that the steps that I thought we could skip, we could not skip. We had to install absolutely everything, and there were some missing prerequisites for Mac OS, probably because of Monterey. But not all the prerequisites for Mac OS were listed on the MobSF website. So I'm communicating all of these missing requirements to the MobSF project, so we can get that documentation updated so other people don't trip on this. We did a pip reinstall of Leaf, and then we just ran setup.sh. And at the end of the show, on Wednesday, was it? On Wednesday, we got MobSF successfully installed. So nothing has happened since then. MobSF is running. It's running on localhost port 8000. And then this is the MobSF interface. Okay, so for those of you who are seeing MobSF for the first time, this is what you're going to see. Once setup.sh completes, it will automatically start MobSF for you. Okay, and it will automatically be listing on default port 8000. Now, when you start MobSF, you can tell it to bind to your actual, like if you got Wi-Fi and you want to bind it to the Wi-Fi NIC, you can do that. But by default, the configuration documentation uses the local loopback interface, which is local to your host. Okay. Um, if at any point, Mel, just so you know, I cannot see the chat screen right now because I'm sharing my screen. So if you can just put the questions up that people ask on the screen, and we'll get to them once I flip back and forth. So this is the main interface. I'm going to go ahead and just duplicate this tab and create a second one so we can do the upload and I can walk you through the result. So I'll duplicate this tab. Sorry, fixing my mousey thing here. And then what I did was, okay, so for those of you who are into cryptocurrency trading, um, write out this crash that we're going through right now. But there's a very popular cryptocurrency exchange called Voyager. Okay, so what I did was right here, you're going to see two APK files on my screen. Do all of you see that? Albert based at APK and Voyager based at APK. Albert is a digital bank. It means that they don't have any branches. For those of you outside the United States, basically a digital bank in the United States or just anywhere really is basically a neobank that has no branches. They service all of their customers and all their accounts online only. It's a digital bank. Examples of this are like Albert. There's another one with the purple logo. Mel, what's the name of it? I don't know. There's a bunch of digital banks out there. They don't have branches. They can provide you a checking account, a savings account, and you do all of your stuff online. Now, Voyager is a cryptocurrency exchange where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency. Okay, it's a very popular cryptocurrency exchange. Mel, keep me honest here. I believe it's just an exchange. It's not a coin itself. Like if you want to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or what have you, you would open a Voyager account and then you would be able to trade on Voyager. Um, so what I did was I've already uploaded the Albert Digital Bank APK file to MobSF, and you're going to see that under the recent scans menu. Okay, you see that right there? It gives you the hash, it gives you the scan date, it'll give you a report. I, to be completely honest with all of you, I have never actually ran a report and used it and gave it to a client. It's silly. Please, I don't want any one in the Shadow Academy to ever generate a report and just give it to a client when they paid for a pen test. Don't do that. If you want, read the report and analyze it, and then interpret the results, and then give those results to the client. But don't ever export a report from a tool and give it to a paying client. If you do that, don't say Alyssa Knight taught you. Okay, don't involve me. So some of you may be asking, okay, Alyssa, how did you get those APK files on your Mac? All right, so if you go on to a tablet, I picked myself up a cheap Android cell phone at Best Buy. This is an iPhone, but you go pick yourself up a cheap Android tablet. You don't need to spend $1,000 on this. Just go pick up a cheap one. And then in the Google Play Store, there is an app called APK Extractor. Okay, so in the Google Play Store, there's APK Extractor. You can use that to extract an app that you've installed on your Android device and extract it as an APK file and upload it anywhere you want. So APK Extractor, I use that to basically, after installing Albert and after installing Voyager, I extracted them off of the device. Gosh, I hope there's no Voyager or Albert employees here right now. If there are, I'm sorry. But I extracted those after installing them on my Android device and uploaded them to my Google Cloud account and then downloaded it. That's how I got them. It's that simple. APK Extractor. Okay. All right. So I uploaded Albert like 15 minutes before the show started. So it was just run, as you guys can see. Here's the timestamp. what is that? That time is very wrong. I don't know why it says 11:40 p.m. It's 5:22 p.m. here. That's not even Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what that is. Anyway, okay. So once you've done that scan, you can access the scan result. Okay. So just go to yeah, recent scans, then just click on static report, and there it is. Okay. Now I'm going to walk you through how to scan, how to reverse an APK file back to its source code so we can comb it for API secrets and usernames and passwords. To do that, you're just going to pick up the APK file and you're going to drag it. How freaking cool is that? I'm telling you, all of you, for you youngins in the audience right now that are younger shadow members, younger Jedi's, um, there was no drag and drop like this in 1994. Okay, there was no drag and drop hacking. There was no GUI hacking. Everything was at the command line, and you had to GCC minus O every exploit, and you prayed that it compiled or you fixed it. Um, but so that's what's cool about MobSF. It's this really sexy GUI. I can literally drag and drop Voyager. Now, then in the terminal window, you're going to see MobSF, and you're going to see all of the different things that it's doing to run against that APK file. So it's saying code analysis started on Java source, converting the DEX files to Smalley code, and then detecting trackers. So it's looking for trackers as well. So we'll get into that, but I just want all of you to know that it's basically going through a litany of things like getting hard-coded certificates and key stores. It's really just kind of tearing that APK file apart. Now, some of you are like, well, Alyssa, isn't this like decompiling it? No, because an APK file, it's not like, a .c file that's been compiled into object code. That's not what an APK file is. It's really just kind of like a zip archive. It's a compressed archive. So you're really not, I think it's fair to say that it would be disingenuous to say it's decompiling it. What it is it's basically reversing it back or bringing it back, uncompressing it and bringing it back to its original source. Um, I mean, there's some decompilation happening, but it's not in the traditional sense that one might think. Anyway, okay, so it does some conversions to XML. It presses the Android manifest file. So while this is going, okay, so while this is all happening, and by the way, another point I want to make is you can't actually peruse the APK. You can like go through directory structures. It's really difficult, confusing to try and explain. But basically, an APK is like this ball of files and folders and stuff. Anyway, sorry. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, so here's the report. Before we go into the results, let me just quickly switch back to um, the screen here, make sure everyone's okay. All right, let's see what the questions are. Okay, so there's some pinned messages here. Oh, thanks for producing, cool. Funky, Alyssa, is there any reason not to use my personal everyday Android phone for the project? Ooh, great freaking question, Funky Monk. Not only just that, but a great freaking name. I love your name, Funky Monk. So, look, I'm going to make the assumption that we are all white hats here. So unless you're a black hat, unless you're doing this to actually illegally break into APIs after this, then I would say it's safe to use your own email address, your own device, your own everything for what we're doing right now for extracting APKs and loading them into MobSF. I'm always going to assume that we're all here doing legal things for clients or for our employers, or for research or for a hobby, but not any digital trespassing. So yeah, I mean, like I use my Google account, I use my Gmail account, I use my own personal Android device. When I set up the Android phone, I use my Google creds, all of that. Now, here's the interesting thing, all of you. And Funky Monk, this leads me to a great segue. Um, if you think about it, the really interesting thing about what I'm teaching all of you is a lot of modern day Android apps look for things like jailbroken phones and rooted phones, CH rooted jails, and you running it on a rooted device. Um, what I'm going to teach you doesn't require you to have a jailbroken phone or a rooted device. So we're just extracting the APK file off that device, then loading it into MobSF. And then, even in the part where I'm going to teach all of you how to do interception, where we're doing network traffic interdiction between the mobile apps and the APIs, you also don't need to run that on jailbroken phone. So these developers are like, I'm going to outsmart the Shadow Academy, and I'm gonna I'm gonna freaking put in a jailbroken phone detection on here. That won't phase us. It won't matter for us because we don't need any of that. So great question, Funky. Um, I used to reverse engineer with soft dice. I'm old, laughing out loud. Hey, Angry Bugs, thanks for joining us. I haven't seen your name before. Welcome to the community. Hopefully, you'll sign up as a member. Um, yeah, soft ice. And I'm sure a lot of you, have used a lot of decompilers and bugs. Again, I mean, you really don't want to think about the APK as like this compiled executable. You want to think of it kind of like as this ball of yarn of all this stuff. And MobSF is basically just breaking that all apart and then reversing everything back. So um, and then what we're going to talk about is, you're going to be like, Alyssa, that's a lot of freaking keys and tokens. That's horrible. Why are developers doing this? Well, a lot of developers have come back to me online and trolled me and like, Alyssa, where the hell are we supposed to put these keys and tokens if we're not supposed to put them in the app? Um, there are tools that you can buy and things that you can do. I think there's even free ones available. Some of you keep me honest here, but there's some free ones out there also that does code obfuscation. And a lot of these developers are not doing that. So, it's just something to think about. But yeah, they do. Yes, that is true. They do need to put these hard coded keys and tokens in the app in order to communicate with these third-party services. And some of the keys and tokens you're going to see today are for third parties like Stripe. Maybe all of you recognize that name, Stripe. There a lot of these banking apps are actually hard coding their private keys and tokens with these third-party payment processors, and it's shocking to me. It's 2022, and developers are still doing this. Um, but yeah, and to do welcome. It's okay. You're fashionably late, and it's all good. Don't worry. We missed you. It's good. We're glad you're here. I mean, you're late, but we're glad you're here. I'm good. Thank you. M2, just an FYI, the part that you missed in this episode, it is going to be available in the community section of the YouTube channel. So hopefully you've signed up as a member already. Um, yeah. So Simmer, I'm assuming Mel saw that. Yeah. So we will not overlay chat on the screen, so you guys can see more screen real estate. Um, there should be that allows you to join once. Okay, thanks, Mel, for putting that up there. Okay, cool. All right, Cyber, welcome to the community. Welcome to Shadow Academy. Hopefully you'll sign up as a member. Yeah, it's okay. You're fashionably late. It's fine. You haven't really missed much. So all of you are just fine. All right, let's go. Let's get back to it. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Where is my screen? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna minimize this. Okay, so once you're done, once all of you have dragged and dropped that file, oh, it looks like it finished Voyager, so that was fast. Okay, so we actually have 2 reports to work with. I'm gonna warn all of you right now. Okay, this is so the security score for Voyager is 41 out of 100. This one's 43 out of 100. I'm going to warn you right now, spoiler alert, both of these apps are incredibly insecure and incredibly poorly hardened and just bad. Bad, bad, bad. And you're about to see. Um, okay, so let's get into it. Are you ready for this? All of you need to understand Voyager is a huge organization. As a matter of fact, they've been in the news lately. There's a lot of sort of drama going with Voyager right now. But for those of you who just joined, it's a cryptocurrency exchange. We can buy and sell crypto, and we just dragged and dropped it into MobSF for finding API secrets. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to notice is an activities section, services, receivers, providers. This is basically going to give you a breakdown of all of the information, like the signer certificate for the app. It's going to warn you about application permissions. Now, don't freak out. Don't like boy or girl who cried wolf. Oh my God, it's it's reading from external storage or writing external storage. Oh my God, it's taking pictures and videos. No, just understand that it's just because you see this and the status is dangerous. All it's saying is that the app will actually have the capability and has the code to be able to use the camera to be able to take pictures. Now, in the cases of like certain apps, this might be required. Like, but if you're scanning a chat or like I don't know a cool I don't know. Give me an example here. Something stupid. I don't know what. Okay, let's just say it's a basic chat app. All you're doing is texting messages back and forth to people, and it has no capabilities to send a picture to someone. It's just text. Does it make sense for it to have the Android permission for being able to use the camera on the phone? Probably not. So in that case, yeah, what you would probably want to question why it can actually operate the camera. But don't freak out if you see stuff like this. All this is doing is telling you what the app is capable of requesting permissions for. Okay? You see like this full internet access. Okay, not the end of the world. I mean, this app needs to be able to communicate to the internet. It's probably communicating with servers on the internet. In this case, it's a bank. So yeah, it's a cryptocurrency exchange. So yeah, it needs to be able to do that. Now, this is always a pretty common finding. Um, it's not the end of the world if you see base64 encoded stuff. It's incredibly stupid, in my opinion, as a hacker, for developers to be using base64. But I mean, there's instances where base64 makes sense, and you need to. So developers put your guns down. I get it. Yes, base64 makes sense in some circumstances, but I have seen developers base64 encode a password, and base64 encodes sensitive data. Don't do it. It's encoding. It's not encryption. You can go to base64decode.org, and as you can see in my history, this is a site I go to often, and you can copy and paste base64 encoded stuff here, and it will decode it for you. So again, if there's any developers in the audience, base64 is not encryption, it's encoding. It's not encryption. So be careful what you encode. This is just telling us that there's base64, that Mobus have found base64 encoded stuff in there. I've seen this common with like Apps Flyer. When a developer includes third-party apps, it may not be they're at the mercy of the security of whatever they're including in their app. So if they're using a very poorly hardened app, it's not necessarily going to be their fault that there's base64 encoded stuff. A lot of this stuff is just silly stuff like hey, advertising stuff in here. You can this particular file is getting the sim operator name, no big deal, whatever. These are just browse activities. So Plaid, for those of you who are not aware, who are not in the US, I think it's a US company. It's a payment processor. So this is just, giving you information on browsable activities. The manifest analysis is pretty interesting. It's going to warn you of things where it's seeing clear text traffic. I do see developers doing this. Just, I mean, developers just sometimes do stupid things like sending sensitive stuff without using HTTPS. And we'll get into that in the network traffic analysis portion of Shadow Academy. But just so you know, it is something you need to look for. when you're doing analysis. Now, there's a lot of information here. I'm just going to warn you. Now, the things that I like to jump to, you're probably like, Alyssa, okay, there's a lot of information here. What do you care about? Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. So first and foremost, um, I don't really care about a lot of this stuff. I'll typically jump right into things like file analysis. I have found, well, in this case, it found hard coded key files in the app. Some found some without, any kind of encryption, just private key sitting there without a password, pre-computed, laying on the file system in a directory. Incredibly bad idea. Always look for that. So I usually look at file analysis. Um, I don't really get much into the code analysis because I spend most of my time on areas that I feel like are more important, which is reconnaissance. So if you're like, where does Alyssa spend the most time in MobSF? It's in the reconnaissance tab. So I like to look at the URLs. Okay, you're probably like, Alyssa, why do you like to look at the URLs? This is every single URL this app is hitting. Every single URL the app is hitting. So if it's communicating with the server, if there's a server in the code, it's going to be listed here. Okay, so if it's pulling traffic or sending traffic, now this has gotten me before, so watch out. There are multiple; these are paginated. So you could be here and say, "Oh man, I didn't really find anything here. There's just Adobe URLs." There's like 7 other pages. So just remember this is paginated. Don't let that fool you. So anything, again, it's looking for any URLs in the code. It's looking for any URLs it's talking to. And then look at this. We're getting to some actual API URLs. Here's a URL for Plaid. Now, the interesting thing here is I've found developers have left hard-coded developer sandbox APIs in their code. Now, bravo to the developers for using sandboxes and using development APIs instead of production for everything, right? So, I applaud them. But they're, they're in the code, and then when you go to them, I've browsed them and found that they were not locked down, that they were wide open, and they're used for testing. And in one particular instance of a financial institution who shall remain nameless, they were actually using real customer data in their dev sandbox. I didn't understand it. I couldn't believe it. It was shocking to me. As penetration testers, a lot of you, especially for you um, who are just now getting into cybersecurity, you're going to find in your career that you're going to just find the most asinine things that developers will do. It's going to happen in your career. You're just going to find really stupid things. Try not to be too hard on developers. Try not to be too hard. Try not to throw too many stones. It's just humans make mistakes, and humans will always be the weakest link in security. So just be aware of that. Um, okay. So yeah, so I'll find API URLs here, and it gives me a list of targets to go after. So we've got some stuff right here for apps flyers. Um, we've got some Google URLs here as well. You will find a lot of the apps will communicate with what's called Google Firebase. And look at this; it looks like we've got a sandbox URL for Plaid, prod, development. So it looks like Voyager is using Plaid probably for their payment system. So when you buy crypto, they're probably using Plaid as a payment gateway. Okay. Here's the API URLs for Voyager. So, there's a lot of security through obscurity happening in our industry where people will be like, oh, if they don't know the URLs, they can't go after them. Ha ha ha. And then, do security through obscurity. And then when you have the URL, there's really no security controls in place. This is where you can uncover those. And a lot of you have probably heard me say this in the past. The most devastating thing any CISO, any security organization can have is API sprawl and what are called shadow APIs, APIs that are deployed out into the environment that they don't know about. So MobSF will also identify Firebase databases. We can do a show on Firebase. There have been some interesting findings here for me on Firebase with what some developers are hard coding into their app on their Firebase database. You've also got some email addresses here. There's some tracker stuff in here. This is more along lines of privacy stuff. And then this is the crown jewels. If you're like, okay, Alyssa, when do you get excited? It's really whenever we find API keys and tokens in the string section. Now, one thing I want to warn all of you about. So, you guys see this? We're starting to see API keys, right? You can spend a lot of time. So one of the things that I will tell you, and I'm trying to remember if it's in, yeah, okay, the symbols reward code. That's just a bunch of letters and numbers. You'll see stuff like that, or obfuscation in place, hopefully when they're using obfuscation. I don't remember where I found all the API secret. Oh, upload documents are. This is really interesting. Looks like some sort of encoding right there in the URL for uploading documents. All kinds of goodies here. Where's the keys? I'm kind of cheating because we have Firebase API key. I'm kind of cheating because I've analyzed Voyager before, and I know it's full of hard-coded keys and tokens. We'll get to. So this is basically the string section is literally running strings against these files. It's not always going to automatically say, hey, look, here's the keys and tokens in the string section. You'll find keys and tokens in there, but the best thing to do is always to just jump right into hard-coded secrets. And the shortcut to it is just right there. So here you can see there's a shit ton of hard-coded API keys and tokens here. So again, I'm not endorsing any of you taking this information and doing anything with it, but there's some stuff in here that should definitely not be in here. So, you know, these are not encoded in any way. These are actual keys. Here's an Optimizely key. Here's a mixed panel actual token. So I want to explain something to all of you. I'm going to hold on. Let me pause here for a minute and see if there's any new questions. I just realized Mel probably doesn't make sense for Mel to yell across the house to me. I'll jump back over here. Sorry. All right. Yeah, those reports are incredible. Yeah, good point. I mean, you could spend. So one thing I want, for those of you who are as impatient as me, you cannot rush through this. I want to say that again. This is going to be, this part of the penetration test is going to try your patience. You need to take your time, or you're going to miss a hard-coded key or token. You're going to miss a hard-coded password. Now, I want to warn you. Okay. Do not rely 100% on the report generated from MobSF. You can't, because it's trying, MobSF is doing a best guess effort to try and find the hard-coded keys and tokens and passwords. There is a section of the report where it will link to files where it thinks there's hard-coded passwords, and it'll actually highlight them in the source code. A lot of the times it's wrong. And all right, I want to tell you this right now, because any of you who've used MobSF before probably know what I'm about to say. It will not find all the keys and tokens. You need to drop to a terminal shell and use some, do your kung fu, grep kung fu, and awk kung fu on the command line to find those keys and tokens. Now, however, I have a special treat for you. There is several GitHub projects that have posted the regex for API keys and tokens for cloud service providers for payment processors, and have published that on GitHub. So regex, API tokens, these. So I think it was it this dude? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so these guys and girls have gone on to GitHub and like, I'm going to publish all the regex for all of these API keys and tokens for all these providers, for AWS, for finance, for Square, for Stripe. This is the syntax for their frickin' API keys and tokens. So if you end up using this and it works and you like it, say, Alyssa Knight taught me this. So this is how you can quickly use some kung fu, some grep kung fu with some regex to find these hard code keys and tokens. Um, oh, look at this. I'm sorry, I forgot to share my screen. Alyssa, stop forgetting to share your screen. Um, so here's the GitHub project. Hey Mel, yell at me when I forget to share my screen. Um, so some lovely people came along, like Oda Mojuli, and said, "I'm going to publish the regex for all of these API keys and tokens and their syntax for like social media sites, for finance apps, for communications like Slack and cloud like AWS and Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure." And publish the freaking regex for the regular expression for their API keys and tokens. They can use this regex to then go to your command line and do some amazing grep and awk and regex kung fu to find all these hard code keys and tokens a lot easier. Um, so just Google. I googled GitHub regex API keys tokens. You can find other people that have posted it. Here's one. It looks like, yeah, this person, Leighton, L4YTON, has published a bunch of API keys and tokens regex as well, and what the search query strings you can run against it. So it will make your life so much easier. Um, sorry about that. I'm doing screen sharing on top of screen sharing, so it creates that mirror effect. Anyway, sorry about that. So it's super cool. It will save you a lot of time. Cyberblaze testers when testing be like, I came in with a wrecking ball. Hell yeah, hell yeah! And you know what? That was me for a lot of my career. It's just in my younger years, I was a lot more like that. I was super impatient. Just all of you, you need to take your time. So once you drop the APK file into MobSF, you need to take your time and you need to go through the report and find all things and start in the report. Don't be like, I'm gonna jump straight to the command line and do it myself. Look, work smart, not hard. Okay, if you want to turn that into a Giphy or something of listen, work smart, not hard. Don't make things harder for yourself than they have to be. Use MobSF. Don't be like, oh, it's a GUI. If I'm an elite hacker, I can't use a GUI. Stop that bullshit. Just if MobSF could find like 75% of the hard coded secrets in here, then use it, give it, take it, and say thank you, and maybe drop a donation. So yeah, think about that. Thanks, Mel, for putting that up. How does someone that is new to this hacking learn without breaking law? If I want to do what you're doing in this video, does it become legal? Okay, so Warren, great question. Um, uh, there are a lot of things you can do without having to break a lot. Like back in my day when I was a youngin', we didn't have purposely vulnerable distros. So if you want to test out your hacking skills and actually break into boxes or hack APIs, there are what are called purposely vulnerable APIs. Now, there's a project called Juice Shop. That's what I do a lot of my testing for API security vendors is I'll set up like Juice Shop and AWS on a free tier, um, or set it up at home in a virtual machine. There's also an amazing new purposely vulnerable project, and he actually just spoke. Um, I'm going to mess up his name, and I apologize, but it's called VAPI, purposely vulnerable API. Um, Tushar, yeah, Tushar, really, really cool dude. Um, so VAPI is a purposely vulnerable distro. And here's some top 10 walkthroughs. People have published walkthroughs on hacking VAPI, but it's a purposely vulnerable API. Here's installation instructions. So if you want to blow up an API without getting arrested, you can use VAPI or you can use JuShop. I want to say there's another one. There's one called Tiredful API. I don't think it's being developed anymore. I don't think it's maintained anymore. And then what was the other one? Oh, there's another one called Crappy. There's so many amazing names out there for these projects, but there's another one called Crappy as well that a lot of you can play with. Okay. All right. Oscar, how would be present in the spirit community as a white hat and not get accidentally promoted to black hat? Yeah, I mean, you just like always look. One thing I want to make clear to all of you is that grabbing the APK file off of your Android device and then uploading it into MobSF and having MobSF kind of decompile it, take it apart, and reverse it back to the source code, and looking at the keys and tokens and those passwords like what we just did is not illegal. You guys and girls can download, if you want to spend all your free time downloading and extracting Android apps and throwing them in the MobSF, you'll learn a lot, and it's 100% legal. There's nothing illegal about that. But when you start taking the keys and tokens, like, you go over here and, oops, sorry, where did that? You go over here and you take this iterable API key. Like some of these things I had to Google. Like, what the hell is this speaking? But yeah, look at this Firebase API key and Firebase database URL all in one right there. Um, oh, look at this. Auth password is password. What the hell is going on with Voyager, man? But let's say you take this mixed panel token and you actually authenticate against the API. You find the URL and you find the actual API request and you use that token. That's illegal. That's illegal. Now, I will tell you that I'm really like slow today. I apologize. I'm like really slow today. Switching between windows. Haven't had enough coffee yet. Um, so for those of you so I don't know if you guys saw the news announcement, but in the United States, for those of you who are U.S. citizens, in the United States, they just updated the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act to which previously penalized, and it was went into effect in law in 1987. I believe the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1987. It criminalized all digital trespassing, no matter if you were white hat or black hat. I want to say like this month they updated it to say that it no longer criminalizes all digital trespassing. If you're a white hat and you find a vulnerability and you disclose it to the organization, then you technically can't be arrested or I should say, found guilty under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. You can probably still be arrested and while they investigate it and figure out what you did and what happened and why. It's still gray area. I wouldn't do it just because they updated the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. I wouldn't do it, but technically the updates protects white hats. I feel like there still needs to be more case law around this, as the world understands that there's black hats and white hats, and let's face it, gray hats. But it no longer criminalizes all hacking. But if you're a white hat, here's my advice, Oscar and everybody. Use purposely vulnerable distros. There's a service called Hack the Box. I've never played with it. Sounds cool, but there's Hack the Box. Play with your virtual machines, play with purposely vulnerable distros, and learn on those. And then, get clients. Like get clients, sell penetration testing services, and then find a client that will let you blow up their APIs and learn that way. But yeah, definitely don't do anything. Once you start throwing packets at an API or packets at something, that's when you start to go into gray area and then black area. Wardell asked, "How did you decide to hack this APK?" You must have came late. Sorry. But basically, I downloaded two APKs. I extracted them off my Android device. I used a tool called APK Extractor that you can install from the Google Play Store, and I uploaded the APKs to my Google Cloud Drive. And I chose these two APKs because I've hacked them before, and I know they're really vulnerable. I know that there's a lot of hard-coded secrets in there that shouldn't be there. All right, I'll go back to it. We're gonna time check 5:56. Okay. I'll try and hurry up. I feel bad about keeping all these so late at that one time. Right. So here you can see Voyager. The developers hard coded a lot of keys and tokens in there. You can then take these tokens, and I'm going to teach all of you how to do this. But then you can take the tokens in a legitimate pen test and paste them into Postman, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so then you've got some activities and services. And then again, I mean, a lot of you are going to want to jump straight to hard-coded secrets and go straight to the crown jewels and look what's there. I get it. I've done that. But don't skip over the string section. The string section actually contains a lot of juicy stuff. You just got to take your time. Like what was mentioned in chat, don't be a wrecking ball and just try and go straight to the good stuff, and destroy everything in your wake. Um, go through the string section and see what's there. Now, there is a really cool thing here where it will find, um, so there's a section here under, what section is it? I forgot what section it is. But if you just do a search in your browser for password, it's item number 5. What will happen is it will MobSF will try and find all hard-coded usernames and passwords and files, and it will link to them. So I typically look in here for specific file names that I know from just my experience where I typically would find hard-coded passwords, um, and then some new ones. So here, for example, oh my God, they made the trace key trick. So here in this file, group payload, it's highlighting what it thinks is a hard-coded username and password. In this case, they made the trace key traits, which is shocking. Here we can go into apps file properties. Usually you can find, yeah. So usually you can find just by the file name that it's probably a hard-coded password in there as well. Just by looking at the file name, like properties files. Here's something called project settings. You can look in here. Let's see the integrations key. Let's see. Identify payload. Options. I need to spend like hours going through this stuff. I've spent days going through a lot of these findings. But I want to jump to the terminal shell and show all of you more stuff. Oh yeah, see here's another key. So you just want to be careful because first and foremost, definitely you get as much information. Did I forget to share my screen? Wait, what? No, I'm sharing my screen. Usually you just want to skip to the good stuff, especially as you do this over and over and over and hack APIs over and over and over. You're going to get to a point where oh yeah, it's usually always in this Java or smaller file. It's usually here. It's usually I know what registry is. But I've learned after 22 years not to judge a book by its cover and stereotype all apps, and take my time and look for hard-coded usernames and passwords myself. Just take your time with this because it will pay dividends in the end, with your findings. Let me do this. Hey, Mel, do me a favor. You can pin messages as a producer. So if you want to go through chat while I'm not looking at the screen, go through chat and pin the questions. That way I can go back and flip back and then read off those questions you pinned. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. So what I want to teach all of you is the how to go through things at the terminal shell. So let me do that. I'm going to make my text font bigger. Hopefully this is good enough for a lot of you. You can see. All right, so when you upload an app to MobSF, it's going to take that file and it's going to reverse it and bring it all back to the source and all that fun stuff. And it's going to store it in a directory called uploads. Now, in the newer versions, they changed where this was. It was literally called an uploads folder. Now I think they moved it to your home directory. I want to say it's in, yeah, .mobsf. It used to actually be in the tools mobsf directory wherever you unarchived it and installed it, but now it's stored in a .mobsf directory in your file in your home directory. So for those of you who are on Mac or Linux, it's going to be right here in the latest version of MobSF. As you can see, it's in my home folder under .mobsf. And then you'll see all the folders here. So these are the uploads of files I've uploaded and MobSF. And so for those of you who are like, listen, what the heck is that? This is actually going to match up to the hash of the app. So if we go back to MobSF, it's this hash right here. So we know that Voyager starts with 897. It's this string right here. So if you want, you can copy it. Otherwise, if you go to recent scans, I want to say it's right here. Yeah. So here is Voyager, and then Albert is 949. So if you wanted to, you could be like, oh, okay. Because what's going to happen is you're going to upload, like me. This is a really clean recent scan screen. If you would have saw the Mob SF on my Mac Pro out there, it's like pages and pages of scans that have I left in there from all my pen tests. So this is going to fill up real fast. So when you're trying to work at the terminal screen and you're like, hey, and there's pages and pages of directors here with just random numbers, you're going to want to copy and paste this and just do CD space and then just paste it, right? And then we know that that is the Albert app, right? So that's the hash for Albert. And then look at that. It's all of the files, it's all of the directories. And believe it or not, I don't know if any of you saw my conference presentation at Innovate, but I actually have a screenshot of an entire directory of private keys that a developer left in there. And the developer actually messaged me on social media. It was like, I was talking to one of the developers, like, how did you find that directory? How could you even access that directory on your Android device? Like, what are you talking about? You didn't know I could actually extract it and then go through it on my host machine and browse your directories? Like, what are you talking about? So, yeah, there was a directory full of private keys, pre-computed, unencrypted on the file system in a directory just sitting there with a bunch of private keys. It was astronomically insane, just insane. Um, so typically, you'll go in here, and then this is all of the files and folders that it found. And then what I'll do is I'll go grep -r, and you can bust out your regex kung fu here. I've had these super long grep string statements that I've run, and I ended up scripting it. But you want to do like dash dash no case, and you can do things for like you can do a search for like say for example API key. That one. Is it no case? Oh, it's ignore case, isn't it? Is it ignore? I think it's ignore case. Yeah. So here you can see like we've already found keys. You know, uh, I don't know. I just maybe it's because I started out in VT100 shells before graphical internet, using IC and shell, hacking shells back in the 90s. I'm very comfortable in my shell, in a terminal. So I love busting out grep. I will take what MobSF gives me in the GUI. Great, thanks MobSF. But I will, before I call it quits, and before I call an end to the pen test, I will drop to a terminal shell and do this. So you can find that this app just has hard coded keys and tokens, and I'm just doing. Imagine I'm just doing. It's doing a search for API. We can get even fancier and go in here and say, okay, I also want to look for anything an API underscore token and underscore token or underscore key. That's work. I mean, you seriously, and I can't stress enough the importance of all of you documenting your work as you go and making sure that if you find something that works, store it in a journal. So I don't know whose podcast it was I was on. I was a guest on a podcast. It may have been Ben's. It may have been Ben. So I created this pen test workbook, and it's a massive spreadsheet of tabs that every time I do a new pen test, it's like cover page client name. Second tab is like these are all of my common net use and net group commands when I'm hacking a Windows domain. And then the next tab is, all of the shells commands that I'll use or grep strings that I'll use. And, so it's basically for the last 22 years, my record of everything I've had to go out there and Google is, look, our brains are not, and you've heard me say this I think on David Baumel's podcast, our brains are not designed to memorize so much stuff. And we are living in a world today where we're surrounded by information and data. you are going to be Googling the same thing over and over and over in every pen test. Just write it down. Write it down into an Excel workbook. Create a pen test workbook. Maybe in our Shadow Academy, I'll create a forum where everyone can post their workbooks. I'll post mine, and everyone can kind of just share and see what other people have created. But just have a workbook that you store this information in while you're working, so you're not constantly going out there and looking for it again. You have this amazing regex string that finds all these great AWS keys and tokens. Then it's a great way to just kind of store that somewhere, so you're not constantly trying to remember it. So that's what's it for this episode. I'm sorry for keeping everyone over again. I keep going over. Let me stop sharing my screen and get to some questions before we close out. Cool. Okay, so let's see here. The Notion app will be great. Yes, M2, thanks for mentioning that. Go get Notion. I use Notion. There's a free version. You don't need to pay for it. It's called Second Brain. If you don't know anything about it, go YouTube it. There's some great videos on creating a second brain. Create and store all of your things you're learning from Shadow Academy and from all the other places that you learn from, all the other influencers you learn from. Always take notes. There's different kinesthetic learning styles, right? You learn so much more and retain so much more when you're taking notes. When you're in Shadow Academy and you're watching this live stream, take notes. A lot of you should be taking notes right now. Take notes, store it in your second brain, store it in Notion. It's a great place to keep it. Wardell, thank you for the prop. Oh, Obsidian. That's another good one. Dr. Katie Paxton Fear, amazing API ninja, by the way. API Hacker's got some great videos on YouTube. She raves about Obsidian. A great tool. This is freaking cool. Thanks for doing this. Thank you, Oscar. Yeah, I hope you guys all learned a lot. I hope all you guys learned a lot today. This was a good episode today. We did some cool stuff. We found hard-coded API keys and tokens in Voyager. In the next course of Shadow Academy, which again, it's going to be private for all of you who joined late. It looks like we've got a lot of new people who joined late. This is the last free episode of Shadow Academy. Go to my YouTube channel and sign up as a member. Starting next week, you will have to go to our YouTube channel and be a member of Shadow Academy in order to access these future episodes. So this is the last free episode. It's only $4.99 a month. I gather a lot of you spend more on hamburgers and hot dogs or coffee per month than that. But it gives you 1 to 2 hours a week with me to hack right alongside with me. And as Oscar and a lot of you saw in the last episode, getting through problems and issues that we run into while trying to compile and use these tools. It is going to get really exciting at Shadow Academy, everyone. In the coming episodes, we're going to be playing with Burp Suite. I'm going to be teaching you Burp Suite. I'm going to be teaching you how to fuzz APIs with things like Kite Runner. And so a lot of these really cool API hacking tools we're going to teach you how to use, and you're going to learn my tactics and techniques in Shadow along with me. We also, for those of you who just showed up, we just opened the Shadow Academy merchandise store. Go get your Shadow Academy merchandise, get your mugs, get your beanies, get your hats, get your t-shirts. Even Mel and I have bought some. The logo just turned out amazing. I love the logo. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you, Wardell. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Cyber. Thank you, Oscar. It was good seeing you again. M2, thanks for joining us. Oh my goodness, so many new names. Allah, thanks for joining us again. It's good to see you. Angry Bugs, love the name. Thanks for joining us. I see some new faces here. Simmered. Daniel, thank you for joining us. Brian, it's good to see all of you. I know a lot of you stayed up really late for this. Thank you so much. My heart goes out to you. Go get some sleep. Get a good night's sleep. I wish you sweet dreams. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in the next show. Oh, I do want to mention Mel and I are going to Hollywood next week to take Red training. So we're going to be out next week. There will be no Shadow Academy class next week. So, and we're also moving it to once a week. I realize that asking you guys to come twice a week, so close together, is too much. So we're going to do one Shadow Academy class per week. And it's going to be starting when we come back from training. So not next week, but the week after will be the next Shadow Academy. It'll give a lot of you time to sign up as a member. I will be posting in the forums. I will be available to all of you. I've enabled something called Super Chat. I have no idea what that is. Super stickers, super chat. I'm going to start posting more in the forums. We're going to get the Shadow Academy member community built up, and we've even paid something like $8,000 for the shadowacademy.com domain. So we're going to set up a website there. A lot of you early members who signed up, we're going to do a special gift for all of you. For those of you who are coming to DEF CON Black this year, we'll bring we're talking about getting together as a Shadow Academy community meetup at DEF CON Black Hat. And for those of you early members, I think like maybe for the first 10 members, we will we'll send all of you a special gift. So thank you very much for your support. I love you. Thank you, Mel, for producing today. Good night, everyone. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.